welcome to Notts Today, the show with all the news and views from across our county. With me, Emma Caldwell. Happy Friday. I hope you've had a good day so far. Before we get properly into the weekend, here's what's coming up on the show for you. First, we'll be hearing how local farms are making sure their animals are kept cool and safe during the hot weather.
The main thing is we have to monitor the animals a lot. They take a lot of care all the time anyway, but especially during the heat, you know. You'll occasionally get animals that just do get heat stroke.
Oh, I love that. Plus, we've got a great Friday guest on the sofa for you too. We're going to be talking to future Sound of Nottingham finalist Louis Walsh ahead of his performance at Rock City on Sunday. We're also going to be hearing all about his EP, which was released earlier today. Very exciting. We're also going to be meeting the police officer who has just won an award after tackling a knife-wielding shoplifter whilst he was off duty.
So my priority was to take the knife off him to protect myself and the public. Whether we're on duty or off duty, whether we're wearing that uniform or not, it is our duty to protect the public.
And we're going to be hearing about what's next for Conservative councillor Keith Girling after he took back Newark West in yesterday's by-election.
I'll be at Caldwell tomorrow. I'll find out what job Sam wants me to do, if any, and I'll be getting back on and being a councillor again. You know, answering the emails and helping people, and that's what the main thing is about.
Plus, we've got a sports roundup for you too, including news of Nottinghamshire all-rounder Liam Patterson-White's inclusion in the PCA Team of the Month.
For me to go out there and almost prove to myself that I'm able to do it is also really nice as well. But yeah, it's just all good fun.
All that and loads more coming up just for you. But first, as we reach the end of another sun-soaked week, well, we aren't the only ones changing our routines to stay cool. Stonebridge City Farm has had to make several changes to keep their animals safe, cool and healthy during the heatwave, which is also proving to be a financial challenge too. Mariangela Costa took a trip to Stonebridge earlier today.
As the summer heatwave continues to sweep across the UK, it is not just humans that are struggling with high temperatures. At Stonebridge City Farm, staff and volunteers are working hard to make sure that their animals don't overheat. From rabbits and goats to dogs and guinea pigs, residents at the farm are being given plenty of frozen treats, regular water top-ups and extra shade to keep them cool. Simone Harris, barn manager, says that daily routines have had to be adapted to keep animals comfortable.
The main thing is we have to monitor the animals a lot. They take a lot of care all the time anyway, but especially during the heat, you know. You'll occasionally get animals that just do get heat stroke, you know. The animals have all the shade and all the water they want in the world, but they will sometimes insist on lying in the sun. Definitely some of our woolly sheep really don't like it, so we got kind of 3 new Rylands, which of course are just very, very woolly teddy bears, which have like a big fur coat on, so keeping them cool is one of our top priorities.
It might not sound like a big change, but small steps like this can make a big difference, especially for animals more vulnerable to heat stress. Stonebridge CEO Rick Harrington says that the rising temperatures are also having a financial impact on the farm.
The biggest challenge is water. Our bills have increased from what they were in April, so we pay quarterly. So for the month of June, it's just over £900 more because we've got more water to provide to the animals, but also more watering of the plants to stop them from dying. The challenge of when it's too hot and raining, we seem to have a similar response, that the footfall drops because when it's too hot people don't want to come out. So on a day like this where it's sunny but there's a nice breeze, then we're busier. It's very much our focus to remain free to enter, but we have to do our best to innovate and find different ways to raise funding or we won't exist.
Stonebridge City Farm is a free entry donation run charity that brings people and animals together in the heart of Nottingham. And while the summer sun continues to shine, small acts of care like a bucket of cold water or a frozen snack mean that Nottingham's animals can stay cool and careful during the summer month. Mariangela Costa for Notts TV.
All right, it's time for our final guest of the week now, and we're talking all things music. Proper Friday guest. Not singer Louis Walsh, not that one, has made it to the final round of the Future Sounds of Nottingham 2025. He's also released his EP earlier today, which he's going to be performing live at Rock City for the final this Sunday. Louis joins me in just a minute to tell us all about it, but first, his little snippet of his EP, Take a Seat.
Maybe it's all in my head now. Maybe it's just what I do. There's a cold side here on my bed now. My whole mind's haunted by you. Maybe it's all in my head now. Maybe it's just what I do. There's a cold side here on my bed now. I've never felt higher, higher, higher when I'm with you.
I love it. I'm so pleased you're back on the Knots TV sofa. So first of all, thank you for coming. That must be so good to be like, it's out, it's released, it's in the world.
I'm relieved that it's out now. It's been a lot of work in the making, so really happy that it's out for everyone to hear.
And I know you're super proud of this, as you should be as well. Tell us a little bit more about the EP. What's it all about?
So it's the whole process of the EP came probably about June last year, and I was writing with my friend Ellis, The Plush Method, and we wrote 3 of the songs that were on the EP in about 2 hours on that day.
Do you know what? I think there's something brilliant about a song that just gets written really quickly.
I think if you spend too long writing a song, it's going to be really bad. Like, I think if a song comes to you, naturally, it's going to be the best song you've ever written. But if you have to spend so long writing a song, let's say 2 hours, don't write the song.
And what's it like when you work on a song, and obviously, you know, the writing process for these were quick, but obviously it takes time to get everything together, and it's your little baby, and then suddenly you release it to the world. What does that feel like?
I think I write most of my songs for myself, because I think as an artist, I like to be personal, but the song itself, when it's out, is someone else's. It's no longer just mine, and I think that's amazing, because I write about my personal struggles or how I feel, and then someone else could also feel the same, that I could help. And I think that's the most beautiful thing that I can do.
And of course, not only is it an exciting day for you, it's an exciting weekend as well, because you're the finalist. You have made it through to the final of the Future Sound of Nottingham. So you're going to be performing at Rock City on Sunday. How does that feel? I mean, Rock City's so iconic.
As a Knots artist, Rock City, you've always got that in the back of your head, like always, I'm going to do that one day, I'm going to do that one day. And I'm privileged to have already done Rock City for the same thing 2 years ago. But if you had told me 2 years ago that's your last time doing it, I'd be like, that's fine, I've done it. To go back a second time, it's a dream. It's amazing.
It's going to be so cool. And then what would it mean to win? Because you get to open the main stage at Splendour Festival.
Again, like I said, the whole thing of being able to do such a, like, Rock City and then Splendor, like, I think if I won, I probably would start crying on the stage.
Good, we like a tear, we like a tear. That would be so good. So the EP comes out, you get to play at Rock City on Sunday. What can we expect from the performance? Do you just get to do one song? How much do you get?
It's 3 to 4 songs, 15-minute slot. And
a 50-minute slot?
15,
Like,
yeah.
Oh, wow.
I'll be doing all my songs by then. But yeah, I'm going to be singing 2 of the songs from the EP, and I'm just really excited that I think they're going to be the first time that they've been performed live with a band, and we've got a saxophone player now as well. So everything's kind of taken from this level to right up here.
And then once the EP's released, do you get a little downtime? Do you get a little rest, or is there no rest?
This weekend, no, no. I came back on Wednesday from New York, and then I've been busy since. Then this tonight, then something else tomorrow, and then Sunday, it's Rock City.
And then a rest? Or then potential preparations for Splendour.
Exactly. We never know. We don't know. We'll see. We'll find out Sunday.
Oh, that is very, very cool. So I think 2025 is just going to be an incredible year. And we love the fact that Nottingham artists come on to the sofa and tell us about the music they're doing. What do you think the Nottingham music scene is like at the moment?
I think it's one of the best in the country. I think you can go to Birmingham and there's going to be 1 out of 100 are going to be struggling to do something. Whereas if you come to Nottingham, as far as I'm aware, as far as I've seen, everyone's doing something, and that's 1 in 10. And I'm not just saying that because I'm from Nottingham. I've played shows in Birmingham, and I've not had the same feeling as being in Notts. And I do genuinely think that it's one of the best in the country.
So good. Honestly, I could talk to you for ages. How can people find out more about you?
Instagram is LouisPJW. That's Louis with an E, because most people call me Lewis instead of Louis, and that was a bit annoying. And that's all my socials, Louis PJW, everything's there.
Love it. Well, good luck on Sunday. We'll be rooting for you. Thank you so much for
Thank
coming
you.
in. All right, time for some more news headlines now. First, and Notts Fire and Rescue have launched an investigation into the cause of a devastating fire of a blaze that tore through outbuildings and vehicles at a new building housing estate. This morning, fire crews from Notts, Derbyshire and South Yorkshire Fire Services were called out to tackle a blaze at a housing estate on Blythe Road in Worksop, which burned through several structures, cars and even a lorry. In a statement, Notts Fire and Rescue say they are now carrying out an investigation and also thanked emergency service partners and the local community for their support and patience. Next, and 2 suspects have appeared in court after robbing and assaulting a man in his home. The incident, which took place between the 25th and 26th of May, saw the victim being threatened at knife point in his Clifton flat by a man who was known to him. The offender punched him after stealing a number of items, including a credit card, which was then used fraudulently at various shops in the area. Once it was reported, detectives made 2 arrests, and 58-year-old Christopher Cope of Brooksby Lane, Nottingham, and 36-year-old Lee Huthwaite of Bridge Farm Lane in Nottingham appeared at Nottingham Magistrates Court this week. Cope was charged with robbery and possession of a Class B drug. He was remanded in custody, while Huthwaite was charged with 5 counts of fraud by false representation, and both will appear at a later date. Right, we're going for a quick Friday break now, but when we return, we're going to be hearing all about an incredible police officer who's just won a distinguished award for confronting an armed shoplifter whilst off duty. And as always, a bumper full of sport as we head into the weekend. All that and plenty more on the way. We'll be back soon. Bye-bye. Hello, welcome back to Notts Today with me, Emma Caldwell, bringing you the very latest from across our county. We've got loads more coming up for you on the show, but first, police have released images of a man that they wish to speak to after a victim was assaulted on a night out. Officers wish to speak to the man showing on your screens right now after an incident took place at a bar on Pepper Street in the city centre on Saturday, June the 21st of this year, where a man was head-butted and suffered facial injuries. Police say anyone who recognises him is urged to give him a call on 101, quoting incident number 31. Next, Newark Castle's renovation, which will see the historic site transformed into a more accessible one, are set to begin next week. The castle has been a local landmark for Newark for more than 900 years, but now, thanks to government and lottery funding, the restoration project, led by Newark and Sherwood District Council, will begin on Monday, the 7th of July, with plans to improve public accessibility by installing lifts and ramps to the castle's gatehouse, as well as a viewing platform gallery space. The site will not be open to the public until autumn this year, but sections of the gardens will reopen on the 14th of July. Next, and a plan for a Nottinghamshire solar farm that could generate power for up to 400,000 homes have moved forward. Renewable energy developer Elements Green have submitted their application to the Planning Inspectorate, which would see a 1.5 million panel farm built in an area northwest of Newark. The Inspectorates now have 28 days to examine the plans, which, if approved, will go to the Secretary of State, who will rule on whether to grant consent on its development, which could see construction begin by 2027. Sticking with Newark and yesterday Reform UK lost their county council seat after a knife-edge by-election of Newark West, which was taken back by Conservative councillor Keith Girling, who originally held the seat for 18 years before losing it to Reform's Desmond Clark in May. An election that saw Reform UK take control of the county authority, but less than a week later, Mr Clark stepped down due to personal circumstances. This led to an election where Girling reclaimed his seat with 680 votes, winning a majority by just 8. Speaking to the local Democracy Reporting Service, Girling said he looks forward to helping people again.
Elated, really. I mean, it was close, and there's a big message there. So it shows how hard I've got to work to stay, as a councillor, which is good because I've always worked hard anyway, and I sort of thrive off that. So, it's good. This time in May, I was very, very disappointed, and now I'm elated, so it's great. No party is unbeatable. No party is unbeatable. And it all depends on a lot, too many factors really. The national picture had a big part to play in this, but they still did really well, and that shows the mood of the country. If you look at local politics and how the Conservatives have done locally, particularly in Newark and Sherwood, we've done really well. We've kept all councillors apart from one now. So, you know, that's a strong message for that we're still here, we're still fighting, we're still kicking. I'll be at Caldwell tomorrow. I'll find out what job Sam wants me to do, if any, and I'll be getting back on and being a councillor again. You know, answering the emails and helping people, and that's what the main thing is about.
Next, a Notts police officer has received a poignant award after he tackled a knife-wielding shoplifter whilst off duty. Last year, Sergeant Rishi Tabani was walking along the high street in Arnold when he spotted shop staff chasing a prolific shoplifter who had just stolen items from a nearby Poundland. Tabani chased the offender whilst also disarming him after the thief tried attacking him with a knife. Since then, the sergeant has been presented with the Ged Walker Award, named in memory of an officer who was killed on duty back in 2003. He says he feels proud to receive such an accolade.
Rishi, one of my response officers from Hucknall, last year had spotted something going off whilst off duty, quickly ran to assist, realised that the suspect at the time was in possession of a knife. This hasn't deterred Rishi one bit. He's called the police, took swift action and continued to try and detain the male all on his own. He's managed to do so and bring in a swift end to what could have been a really nasty incident in Arnold Town Centre.
So when I've grabbed him, the knife he had the hand on, I went to hold that hand, he's then swapped hands. So the knife was now in his left hand, and he's then come to try to stab me around my sort of stomach and ribs area. So as this was going on, all I can think about was I need to take this knife off this male because he was trying to stab me, and he said he's going to kill me if I don't walk away, and he was actively trying to kill me. So my priority was to take the knife off him to protect myself and the public. Whether we're on duty or off duty, whether we're wearing that uniform or not, it is our duty to protect the public. I joined the police to help people and to protect people. So if this incident was to happen again, I'd do the same thing all over again. It's something that I've signed up for, and it's something I've always wanted to do to help people, so that's why I'm here, and I'd do it all over again if I had to.
Incredible. Congratulations to him on the well-deserved award. Time for your sport now, and we'll start with cricket. Nottinghamshire Outlaws all-rounder Liam Patterson-White has been selected for the PCA's Team of the Month after a run of standout performances in both the T20 Blast and the County Championship. The 26-year-old claimed 20 wickets in June on top of 154 runs with the bat. When reflecting on the Outlaws' recent draw with Somerset, in which he had to bowl furlong periods, Patterson-White credited his recent form to his hard work with assistant coach Ant Boater during the off-season.
Me and Boats have spoken quite a lot about it, actually. You know, I've had issues with my fitness before in previous years and things like that, and not being able to stay fit or bowl that many overs in tandem. But for me to go out there and almost prove to myself that I'm able to do it is also really nice as well. But yeah, it's just all good fun.
And sticking with the Outlaws for now, as they look ahead to resuming their T20 campaign tonight away against Durham. Notts County currently sits 6th in the table, having played 9 games, and they'll be hoping that their form in the county format will carry on over into the Blast, with still a lot of work to do if they're to reach the knockouts. Their opponents this evening are 3rd in the table, having won 4 of their last 5 in the short format. The match starts at 6:30. On to football now, and Jodie Jones has become the latest ambassador for the National Rehabilitation Centre that's due to open later this year. The facility will work as a rehab centre for people who have endured a significant or perhaps life-changing injury, trauma or illness. In a new video on the Nottingham University Hospital YouTube channel, Jodie Jones detailed his reason for becoming an ambassador for the facility. The 2023-24 League Two player said that he understands how important it is to have the right environment for rehabilitation, having experienced his own personal injury setbacks in the form of 3 ligament injuries. And we'll finish off with the tennis. Nottingham-born Billy Harris has been knocked out of the Wimbledon doubles second round after a defeat in straight sets. The 30-year-old was competing alongside fellow Brit Marcus Willis, but lost out to another British player, Henry Patton, and his partner Harri Heliövaara from Finland. Billy Harris did claim a maiden Wimbledon singles victory earlier in the week, but was knocked out in the second round by world number 37, Nuno Borges. And it's time for your weekend What's On guide now. There's some great stuff going on. First up, Kinky Boots the musical is coming to the Theatre Royal tonight and Saturday, starring Strictly Come Dancing's Johannes Rauderbay and rising star Dan Partridge. It starts at 7:30. Sounds fabulous. You can also catch a screening of Bridget Jones's Diary over at Binks Yard tonight, 6 till 10 p.m. It'll cost you £5, which sounds like great value to me. And if you're looking for some good music this weekend, then you can head over to Newstead Abbey on Saturday, where Wonderland Festival 2025 is taking place. That one's a disco festival featuring some big names like Gok Wan and Craig Charles. Tickets for that cost just under £50. And of course, you can always pop over to Rock City and catch our lovely guest from earlier on the show. Louis Walsh battle it out in the Future Sound of Nottingham final on Sunday. But wherever you get up to, have a lovely time. Next, you can catch the latest episode of the Notts TV debate tonight at 8:30 right here on the channel and on demand too. Whether you're fired up or just curious, you can join the conversation and see where the panel stands on whether or not the new extension plans for the City ground are a good idea. Do we need so many universities? And is the government right to try and review welfare cuts?
These are the difficult conversations that people have to have, you know, once you get into power. In an ideal world, we wouldn't want to touch, you know, the welfare bill, but again, circumstances place us in a predicament where we have to do something. However, there has to be a way that it's be done more compassionately. It's got to be done in a way that doesn't harm people but helps them. And also, I think there's ways that money can be generated from other avenues as well. Now, I know that our own MP, Nadia Whittam, is quite vocal on this.
Yeah, she's very much against it.
But obviously comes up with some good ideas about where extra finances can be brought from to be able to balance these off. So it's really about the support you give to people so that they don't get into that predicament initially.
Looking at it from the outside, though, I will say it was slightly confusing as to what the cuts were and why some Labour MPs were campaigning along the lines that they were. For instance, they were saying that those with disabilities are going to be pushed into poverty, and yet the government was saying it was only going to be making changes to people in future to apply for their personal independence payments. The ones that are on it at the moment, they said would be ineffective. Bruce, no? That's not how you saw it?
Plan.
Okay.
That was part and parcel.
Is that part of the amendations that we're seeing?
Yeah, that was the soft soaping.
All right, it's time for your Friday picture of the day now. And this one, look at that, absolutely gorgeous, taken by Steve Plewinski over on Insta. Thanks, Steve, for that one. And don't forget, of course, you can send your photos and see them on the telly by tagging Notts_TV on Insta. Weather now, and we are in for a slightly cooler weekend. Today's been 26 degrees and there'll be lows of 15 overnight. Tomorrow is going to be sat around 24 degrees with a low of 15 again. And Sunday going to drop to around 20 degrees too. Still pretty nice though. Visibility is very good over the weekend and thankfully the pollen levels aren't too high either. Well, that's all for now. Al Booth is going to be back with you on Monday at 5:30 to do it all over again. But right now, from me, Emma Caldwell, and the rest of the Notts TV team, we hope you have a great weekend. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.